What's up, beautiful people? Jen here. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jenna Lee, aka Jen Sparkly, commander of the Sparkle Army. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today we are going to do a semi-first impressions and create a look with the Wet n Wild Spoiled Brat mini palette. If you follow me on Instagram, and I hope you do, if not, my name is at Miss Jenna Lee on there. I did this for my most recent Swatch Sundays feature, and other than that, I have not had the chance to work with this very much. So, per request, we are going to work with this bad boy today and see what happens. If you follow me, and I know most of you do, you know that I'm really big on Wet n Wild. I'm a huge fan of their products, a huge supporter of everything they do. Growing up, I'll be honest, Wet n Wild was not the most well thought of brand. A lot of people would kind of scoff and, oh, it's cheap and blah, blah, blah. Well, whoever's running the show for Wet n Wild for the last few years has seemingly overhauled everything from packaging to formula to products created, even down to their social media platforms. They have really re-energized that brand, and they are putting out some outstanding products. I will be doing some more Wet n Wild reviews coming up in the new year. For right now, let's see what happens with the Spoiled Brat mini palette. Of course, as always, when I'm getting ready to do eye makeup, I use my e.l.f. Shadow Lock Lid Primer. This was featured in my Jen's Favorite Things #1 video. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. We're just going to put this over the whole eye area because we are going to get crazy with it. Also, a little word to the wise. If you are ever patting a primer, an eye cream, anytime you're patting anything in to the skin around your eye, you always want to use your ring finger. When blending it in, your ring finger has the most flesh in that area. It's the most padded. It is the most gentle on that very delicate eye skin. So definitely get yourself in the habit of always blending in any kind of formulas that are creamy in the eye area with your ring finger. You'll thank me later, I promise. I know that I'm going to go under the eye, so we're just going to make a quick little dab right there up under the eye. Just a very light little line going right directly under my lash line. And just use the very tip of my ring finger. Since I used very little, that's the beauty of this formula, is that you don't have to fight with it. You don't have to constantly move it. Once you put it in place, it does give you about a 90-second window that you can move and pat it into place before it dries down. But really just a gentle pat and it's in place and it's set. Your primer is set. That's why I swear by it. So, I normally, when using these kind of mini palettes, don't go beginning to end in this palette. A lot of times I'll pick one color and another color from another palette and so on and so forth. But as typical with these 3 and 4 color mini palettes from Wet n Wild, they actually give you eyelid, crease, and brow bone, which means this is intended to all be worn together. Let's see what happens. Now, I know that darker pigmented colors can often come across as a little powdery. So starting out, I'm going to use this Elizabeth Mott blending brush, and we're going to work a little bit of that sparkly black shade into the creases. Let's just see. Okay, yes, it's very powdery, as I expected it to be. As you can see, that's a lot. Now, another disclaimer that I feel needs to be given, I'm actually going to use a different brush for that just to avoid a big mess. Let's see, give me an actual bona fide crease brush. Here we go. This is made by Ibby, I-B-Y, I don't know, Cosmetics, but it is a crease brush, so that's what we're going to use. But it's important to also remember, you'll hear other gurus and influencers go on and on about, oh, it's so powdery, oh, it's so chalky, meh, 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 meh. That is not the problem. You act like it is. And this is going to sound catty, but oh well. If you have the skill set to do eye makeup, super powdery makeup should not be that big a problem. It's pressed powder. It's gonna flake up. It's gonna kick back. That's just how powder works. So, what I always say to do, dab, dab, dab. You just want to get just the tiniest bit. Because again, this is blendable color. You don't need one swipe perfection. And considering that this thing retails for about $3, it's not going to be Chanel. It's not going to be Sisley or, you know, La Mer. It's Wet n Wild. So yeah, just going to start in the crease. Okay, we definitely have pigmentation. Definitely. Okay, I'm just going to work that in there, like so. Now we're going to use the Elizabeth Mott blending brush. To soften that out. I'm also going to take my AOA Studio E124 pencil brush. This was featured in my Miss A haul #1 video. Just take the tiniest little bit and we're just going to bring that up under the lash line. Like so. Have a nice rounded edge. Smoke that out of under my lower lash line. Okay. So far so good. Now what I want to use is a Wet n Wild brush. This is the small eyeshadow brush. We are just going to gently dip into the eyelid pan. Again, this one has a little bit of kickback, but not nearly like what the black was. You can see it. Yeah, you can see it. It's not even close to what the black was. So yeah, I do definitely think the kickback from the black was also in part to just how pigmented it is. So we're going to pat this down in the crease. Okay, it's pretty, but what I think I'm going to do is use a little spritz on it. We got this Mario Badescu facial spray that I often use, similarly to what you would use a MAC Fix Plus for. MAC Fix Plus. Just a little spritzy McGee. Oh yeah, there we go. Getting the pink. Getting a little pink up in there. And just because I effing love pink, I'm going in a third time, even though it's really not necessary. Spritzy McGee. Here we go. And notice as I apply it, I'm not sweeping it back and forth. I'm legitimately patting it down. That way you get pigmentation and it stays in place thanks to the Spritzy Magoo. Oh yes. Now I'm going to go back with the prior blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of bring those two edges together so it doesn't look so separated, and you can see now. Bring that under just for funsies. Okay, that was a shadow. Forgive me guys, I'm like, where is that smudge going? But no, it's actually a shadow. Okay, finally we have the brow bone color. For this, I don't often use a brush for my brow bone simply because, you know, I don't have a lot of room between my lower lash line and my brow. I don't have a lot of real estate in there. So I tend to have to kind of play it by ear. So I'm just going to use like a little itty bitty, teeny tiny, this is actually a lip brush, and I'm the queen of using brushes for other reasons. Don't be afraid to do that. If it works for something, use it. We're just going to go into that silvery color. And once again, as I do this, I'm seeing almost no kickback whatsoever. So yeah, I think that totally settles my hypothesis of it just being because of the dark pigment. Their formulas are pretty solid. And we're just going to tuck that in right there. Nice metallic sheen. I'm going to go in with just a little more of the black. Tap that in and blend all three together. Okay. Going to do our line now. I'm going to do with the Mayron eyebrow and eyeliner in black. I'm going to do the waterline. Okay. And because the color is so vivid, it's black, it's silver, it's pink, I'm not going to do a really outlandish, wild, winged out liner. I think I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going to use the Tarte Precision Long Wear Liner, and I'm just going to run all along my lash line here, as I like to do, and literally just blend it in right dead even with my lash line. Okay. Now, I was so hurt because I really, really, really wanted to use my Lash Renegade mascara because I have raved about it and raved about it for so long, and unfortunately I'm out. I don't have any more. I need to replenish it, obviously. So I'm going to grab another mascara from my little stashy stash here. Let's see what all we've got tucked away in here. These are my emergency just in case mascaras. Let's see what we've got. Alright, we've got Tarte Lifted. Yeah, let's see what happens with the Tarte Lifted Sweatproof Mascara. Pretty cute. Let's see what happens. Ooh, this is like a brown black. Okay. Okay, that's that. I am going to do my other eye. get everything caught up, and I'll be back with my final thoughts, okay? See you guys in a few. So, final thoughts. I'm not gonna lie, black and pink are my favorite colors, so I'm feeling this. I love a smoky eye, and I love hot pink. But, final thoughts are, this is definitely a win. I think rather than using all of the colors together to create a look, I think each of them would stand better on their own, mixed in or brought into other looks. The whole time I was playing with that silver color, I'm picturing like different looks I can do with that as the focal point color rather than the pink and black. But again, all three of them, highly pigmented. Yes, they're powdery, but it happens and it's not the end of the world. Is it worth buying just to have on hand? Absolutely. This is a good little palette. The hot pink is beautiful. The black is pretty and it's very pigmented, and it has a really pretty silver sparkle in it. And that metallic silver color, it's almost an injustice that it got included in that palette, because that is such a gorgeous, gorgeous metallic silver. Let's swatch that one more time. Seriously, back in the day, before hard candy kind of shifted how it did business, you know, it used to be a department store brand, and what you see in Walmart is awesome, but it's not what it used to be. And I remember in high school, my friend had a palette that was hard candy, and it had a gorgeous matte black and a metallic silver. And I kid you not, this is the closest I've found to that gorgeous metallic silver. So, heads up, you're probably going to be seeing a look featuring that in the future. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's just important to remember that while inexpensive brands aren't always going to be top of the mountain quality, that doesn't mean that you should scoff at them and keep walking, because there's some real quality in Wet n Wild and in a lot of these lower cost brands. So yeah, the Spoiled Brat palette is, it's a win. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, share this video, share the link on Twitter, share it to Facebook, tell your mom, your dad, if your dog's, I'm a dog fan, if your dog wants to watch it, I'm cool. Don't forget to check out all of my affiliate links below. Save yourself some money on sunglasses, dresses, shoes, clothes, makeup. I got y'all. And yeah, follow me on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I'm everywhere, y'all, and I promise I'm a real blast to hang out with. So yeah, y'all stay beautiful, and I will see y'all next time, okay? Bye.